Tonight we're learning more about a former Northside High School assistant principal now serving life in prison. Last week, a Houston County jury convicted 44-year-old Joshua Lee Mason of aggravated child molestation.
A judge sentenced Mason to life plus 30 years for sexually abusing a victim for 9 years. Elizabeth Hunter spoke with the lead investigator, who calls this case one of the worst he's seen.
This is one of the cases that's going to stick with me a while.
A case that makes your skin crawl and your heart ache.
The impact it had on the victim, the number of years, the severity of the crime.
Sergeant Kevin Harper, lead investigator, provided the evidence that led to a life sentence for Joshua Mason for aggravated child molestation and incest.
It was a culmination of the victim's story and DNA evidence that was found in the residence.
For 9 years, Mason sexually assaulted a female relative. Harper says the victim was abused from 8 to 17 years old. He says Mason is behind bars now because she had the courage to speak up.
She had disclosed to a friend, and the friend encouraged her to go tell the counselor.
Harper says Mason worked as an educator in Henry County before moving to Houston County in 2020. He was a teacher at Warner Robins High School for 1 year before becoming an assistant principal at Northside High School. Harper says the victim reported the abuse in October 2021 and Mason was arrested the next month. He says it's not easy to get a life sentence for child molesters, but this was an extreme case.
The biggest factor was the length of time that the abuse had been going on, and the fact that she was a close family member.
The Houston County District Attorney's Office says the jury found Mason guilty of 3 criminal sex acts against a child, including oral sodomy and intercourse.
Just some things you see and hear you just don't forget very easily. So, it's one of the more egregious cases I've worked.
Harper says he doesn't want people to forget that the real hero is the victim. In Houston County, Elizabeth Hunter, 13 WMAZ News.
Harper says Mason had no previous criminal history.